Let me just stop. Yeah. Maybe I'm going too fast. I don't want to lose you. So let me just stop. I'm going to talk about sin and the nature of it. Now, we do have a common conception of sin, but I feel that the nature of it goes into dispute. So let me just start here. A lot of people are generally misinformed concerning the nature of sin. The knowledge concerning this comes from deep insight that gives us keys to its nature. And what we have found out is that its nature is to create action that effectively separates one from the masses. It's called different things. It's been called being lost at sea. It's been called a man out in space, man lost in space. But it is the consequence that gives it its term. The consequences of participating in sin is that it not only separates you from everybody else, its nature, its true nature, is to separate you from yourself. In this way, the consequences of your actions become a direct result of what you did, something that you did, or something that you did not do. Sin comes in both forms of that way. Now, when you do something good that's in your nature, uh, what it does is it creates an alteration of sin. It creates another lifetime in which this good action is prosperous. So in this lifetime, uh, good things would happen to you. And it could come at any time. It's God's decision. Whenever he wants to put you in this life. In this alteration of what you're living now. So you're living now. You help the old lady across the street. Well, God rewards you, right? But we don't just get a notification on our phone. He creates a time and a place in which that action is rewarded. And then he puts you in that. And that's how goodwill works. That's why God encourages you to do as much as good as you can, right? Now, here's the other side to that coin. If the act is bad, evil, wicked, whatever you want to call it, if you do something that is in your nature not to do, and you do it, that is sin. what happens is the same thing that happens in the alteration, in the alter world. Except for this time, the bad act creates an alter world in which your act would have been good had you known better or done better or acted better, however you want to look at it. Um, and that's the nature of sin. What it does when you do something that is uh, not in your nature to do, God creates another time in which that act would have been good. And then you must live that alter life at some point. And when you're at that point, listen to me, your whole life exists to pay back something that you did in your former life. Or your alter life. It will be very bad for you. And I'm going to explain why. And this is really the reason why, you know, uh, sinning, you're really playing with fire. The misconception here is that you can free yourself from this world, from this alter life. Uh, in which, let me be clear here, your whole life at this time merely exists to atone for something you did in your alter life, and you're the lamb. You're the sacrificial lamb. You're the one. See, what you don't understand is how forgiveness works, okay? Forgiveness does not excuse the consequences, okay? So when you sin, there are consequences. God puts a point on your timeline in which you're going to have to answer for this. Now you're smart. You say, "Hey, I messed up, and God, please forgive me." Right? Okay, so cool. What happens is God does not take away that point. Uh, he just pardons you. He says, "Okay, I'm not going to do this to you right now, uh, or in your life. You're excused, but you are going to have to live." You're gonna have to answer for this at some point. And he forgives you. It's very dangerous to play with this because every time you do something that is not in your nature to do, you are creating plots. You still don't get it. The alter life that uh, God creates for you to atone for something you did, it doesn't count. It's separate from your life, from your real life. God says, "Okay, cool. I'm going to put this over here. This is over here. And this will not directly affect or influence your real life. The part of you that exists to move forward. So you won't even know that God's going to do basically a copy and paste, right? And he's going to create a time and a place, and you'll have to answer for it. The worst part about this world that he places you at any time, it goes down. You could be going to the grocery store thinking that you're going to get some milk and eggs, and you don't even know you have just been moved into the consequential reality of your altar life. The worst part is when you're in this altar life, there is no Jesus Christ. There is no Savior. There is no God help me. He already did that. He already spared you once. This was to make up for that. It, in essence, it stabilizes your life because you learn a lesson. Who to play with and who not to play with. No matter how much I'm telling you is bad, because no matter how much good you do, no matter how many right choices you make, this is going to happen. Whatever the consequences of your actions are, they're going to happen. They're going to manifest. And you're going to think, something was done to you. And even the bystanders, people around are going to be scratching their head like, how could this happen? They'll even blame God. And God is like, I didn't do this. I undid something. Now, he understands or she understands. So, in conclusion, when one sins, it creates an alter life in which one carries the burden of a former life into his current life. It creates an alter you, and you're separated for the sole purpose of correcting a mistake or paying something back. Even though you were forgiven in one life, those scales have to be balanced, which means there would come a time, there would come a place, and you would inevitably get what you had coming to you.